Do you know why some people say 저는 name입니다, but others say 저는 name이에요 or 에요? In this video, I will tell you when to use 입니다 and 이에요 or 에요. Let's get started. Number 1. The different speech levels. You have a speaker and a listener here. Choice of speech level has to be made for appropriate and natural verbal exchanges between people. Formal, polite, and casual forms are the most commonly used speech forms. I categorize polite and casual forms as non-formal since they are often used in daily conversation. First, I will tell you about the formal form. The formal form is called 격식체 in Korean and it has 4 different endings. 니다, 니까, 시오, and 시다. You can use this form when talking formally, professionally, officially, and publicly. You can also use it in specific social settings like announcements, job interviews, public speeches, and in the military. We don't often use it in daily conversation because it gives you a sense of distance. When introducing yourself formally, you can say 저는 name입니다. 저는 name입니다. Example 1. 저는 이수진입니다. Example 2. 저는 김민지입니다. Second, polite form, 존댓말. This form always ends with 요 or 요. The polite form is one of the non-formal forms and it's used in daily conversation. If you are an adult, you can use this form for anybody. It's like a default form between adults. It sounds much friendly compared to the formal form, but it still gives you some sense of distance. So it's good to use for those who are not very close to you, older than you, or with a higher status than you in a friendly manner. When introducing yourself less formally but politely, please say 저는 name이에요 or 에요. Example 1. 저는 이수진이에요. If your name ends with a 받침, a final consonant like 진, you should use 이에요 instead of 예요. 저는 이수진이에요. Example 2. 저는 김민지예요. If your name doesn't end with 받침, no final consonant, you can just use 에요 instead of 이에요. It looks like 예요, but when we pronounce it naturally, we tend to say 에요. 에요. Third, casual form, 반말. 반말 means a half speech. It sounds short because it doesn't end with 니다, 니까, 시오, 시다, 요, like formal form and polite form endings. You can use this form to your friends or family like someone very close to you personally. You can also use it when talking to someone younger than you or with a lower status than you. When casually introducing yourself, you can say 나는 name이야 or 야. 나 is just a plain version of I, and 저 was a humble version of I. Example 1. 나는 이수진이야. First, we use 나 instead of 저 because you don't have to show respect to the listener. You're just being casual. So 나는 이수진이야. This name 이수진 ends with a final consonant, so please use 이야 instead of 야. Then example 2. 나는 김민지야. So 김민지, the 지 part doesn't end with a final consonant, so you can use 야 instead of 이야. 나는 김민지야. We can compare more expressions in the 3 different speech forms. thank you, and I'm sorry. First, thank you. In casual form, 고마워. In polite form, 고마워요. In formal form, 고맙습니다 or 감사합니다. Second, I'm sorry. In casual form, 미안해. In polite form, 미안해요. In formal form, 미안합니다 or 죄송합니다. Since you guys are still at the very beginner's level, you would instead focus more on the polite form because it's safe to use and it never offends people. Number 2, greeting and farewell in polite form. Greeting. 안녕하세요. 만나서 반가워요. Which means hello, nice to meet you. 안녕하세요. 반가워요. Hello, nice to meet you. 안녕하세요 literally means are you in peace? And we use it when saying hello or how do you do? 만나서 반가워요 literally means since I'm meeting you, I'm glad. So it's like nice to meet you in English. Without 만나서, but just 반가워요 can still mean I'm glad to meet you. Farewell. When saying goodbye, you have two options. First, 안녕히 가세요, which means please go peacefully. Second, 안녕히 계세요, please stay peacefully. When saying this, you should forget about yourself but focus on what the other party would do next. If they were to leave, say 안녕히 가세요, please go peacefully. And if they were to stay, say 안녕히 계세요, please stay peacefully. And all the greeting and farewell expressions end with yo, as you can see. So we are being very friendly and polite all the way. If you feel that this video has given you too much information, then you can end watching this video. However, if you still want to understand Korean speech forms a little deeper, I suggest you watch 2 minutes more. Number 3, the concept of honorific form. You have a speaker and a listener. Let's say you are talking about something that doesn't require any respect, like food or animals. You can use just plain, formal, polite, or casual form. Depends on who you're talking to, right? However, if you're talking about someone much older, like your grandpa, for example, you should show him extra respect, even though he's just the third party and not listening to the conversation. We call this honorific form, 높임말. The honorific form is towards the older person that you are talking about. And formal, polite, casual form is all about how your speech is delivered to the listener. So you can use a combination of honorific formal, honorific polite, or honorific casual. On the other hand, the listener can be a much older person. Then it would be best if you showed extra respect to them. But this is separate from how you want to deliver your speech. You can say formally, politely, or casually, still with extra respect. For example, when my grandma was still alive, I used a combination of honorific and casual form. Because we were very close as family, but she's my grandma who deserved lots of respect. I can imagine how you would feel right now. You must be a little frustrated or might be rethinking about learning Korean. What you'll be focusing on right now is just plain polite form, so don't worry too much about it. In the following video, I'll discuss a pronunciation rule called nasalization. In the video, you will see why I said 감사합니다 instead of saying 감사합니다. And 죄송합니다 instead of saying 죄송합니다. Please support me by subscribing to my channel and by clicking the like button. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.